Okay, guys, so we have the final reveal from Ghosts from the Past, and we have the full set list now. And we're going to discuss it tonight because I think there's a lot of us that are really surprised by what happened. But first, let me introduce our ongoing guests. Obviously, we have some regulars with us, which we're super thankful for. We love these guys. We've got Obeliskblue13. You also know him as Golden Lord Yugioh, and more famously lately, just as Carlos. And then we have Grunt, who has been doing very well recently in our online tournaments. Super close again there, Grunt, with that last one. That was just
Brickfest.
I know. I was just gonna say that was just rough. And then our final one. It's been a while since we've had him on for a discussion. KCSGAMEZ, also known as Casey. So obviously, I've got all their information there for you guys. Welcome back for the discussion video, everybody.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm glad we can do this.
Absolutely.
I just want to shit on Konami. I'm
Okay.
so ready.
Wow, I wasn't ready for that. Okay. Well, let's do a quick walkthrough for everyone who's watching that might not realize this. So back, oh gosh, I think it was October of 2020, maybe a little bit before. We had the hype of Ghosts from the Past, and if you guys watch on a regular basis, you know that Carlos and I both really enjoy Ghost Rares. This is something we've talked about on our Yu-Gi-Oh news you might have missed, and we were very excited. The set was supposed to release already. It was supposed to come out, I believe, on the 26th of March, but it got delayed. And we knew there was only going to be 5 Ghost Rares. We also knew that it was going to have over 130 Ultra Rares, so we were pretty excited to hear that there was going to be some killer things in here. We knew that Dragoonity cards were also going to be included. I'm not a fan of them not just giving us the structure deck because I feel like they've done this before where the OCG gets a great structure deck. Then they release it as reprints for us here in the TCG. So I wasn't too excited. However, Ghost Rares had me excited. And we had a leak that happened where we got to see, we knew Blue Eyes Alternative was going to be there. That was already told to us. But then there was a leak about Dark Magician. Then there was another leak about Blackluster Soldier. And lots of hype over, is it real? Is it not real? And then when it was confirmed through other leaks that it was, people got even more excited, especially when Dark Magician Girl was talked about. And oh man, I was really excited about this because, it's such a rare card. The Shonen Jump Prize one, I've got it up there. 35,000 is the current listing price for that thing. Just crazy. But I think a lot of people really wanted to see the card in Ghost Rare. And I think this is a big nod. If they had done that, it would have been for the collectors. And the collectors were getting excited. If you go back to the top best-selling top lists from Konami here in the TCG, number one in February 15th that week was Ghost from the Past box. Then the next week, Ghost from the Past box. Then the week after that, Ghost from the Past box. And then again, Ghost from the Past box. And it just kept going until we got to see some other Ghost Rares released. And then people are starting to get a little worried, I think, because it dropped down to the number 3 spot. And so we finally know the last 2 that we got. We've got the Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. And I feel once people realized that was one of the last that was the last Ghost Rare, there was just this huge disappointment sigh let out from the community. We know Firewall got an errata, so that's the other Ghost Rare. But I'll start with you, Carlos. How did you feel knowing that it wasn't going to be Dark Magician Girl?
So I'm gonna preface this by saying, I was I was okay if it wasn't Dark Magician Girl if it was the right Ghost Rare. To me, Crystal Wing wasn't the right Ghost Rare. It was actually a really poor choice to put Crystal Wing in this set because they're actually doing a duelist pack, or our next legendary duelist is called Legendary Duelist Synchro Storm, something like that. And it's basically revolves around synchros and wind monsters from the anime, and so we're actually getting a ghoster in that set as well.
Oh.
And so to me, and one of the archetypes that's getting support is Speedroid / the Crystal Wing / Clear Wing. So that whole archetype's getting support, right? So my thought is like, this is such a stupid product placement because if you're gonna put I'm so serious, because if you're gonna put Crystal Wing as a ghost rare, which is totally fine because it's an awesome card, but if you're gonna put it as a ghost rare, put it in that set.
Yeah.
Save this set for something good. Like, you could have done anything. You could have done one of the other Egyptian gods. You could have done Dark Magician Girl. You could have done Red Eyes. You could have done you could have started to reprint the Cinder Dragons as ghosters that you're missing, like Red Dragon Archfiend or Lifestream Dragon. And instead, you guys choose Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon when there's literally the perfect opportunity to put it in a set in the future. It's absolutely disgusting. And you know what else disgusts me? Like, this set has been bought out to epic proportions.
Yes.
It's double MSRP for a single box online. Like, you can't find a box for under 30. Well, slightly under 30. But, like, it's basically going for double MSRP. It's ridiculous, man. Like, this set is trash, and it should not be worth double MSRP.
Yeah.
And one last gripe. Sorry, I have so many gripes.
No, you're fine.
I'm probably
you're okay.
Like, every time you pass to me, I'm probably just gonna rant. But one of the big things that pisses me off about this set is it's called Ghost from the Past, and yet, by all accounts, it looks like the ghost rares are one a case. Like, what kind of stupid logic is this?
I know.
That's like if Maximum Gold was called Maximum Gold, but we only had one gold rare case.
Yes.
Like, that's so stupid. It makes no sense. And now because the ghost rares are like one a case, and then that's based, there's 5 ghost rares, so that means like the specific one you want is 1 per every 5 cases. Now it's going to be super expensive for any specific ghost rare.
Absolutely.
Let's be honest, Dark Magician is probably going to be the one that gets that price hike because of this. But that's like absolutely crazy, and we shouldn't be in this situation. If you guys wanted to do ghost rares, do one a display case.
Yeah.
You know, you still make your money. People still can have fun opening it. But one a case is absolutely ridiculous. So that's what I have to say for now.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. As soon as I heard the ratio, along with what the last one was, I just was so frustrated because I don't have that kind of money. And I just know it's going to be expensive. Casey, what was your thinking when you heard about the ratio of the cards, how rare they're going to be, and what the last ghost rare was? What was your thinking?
Well, Carlos kind of nailed it right on the head, to be honest. I mean, I was definitely disappointed in the ghost rare choice.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not one of the collectors, so the only thing I was griping about is the fact that the BLS link is only a ghost rare, and I'm interested in seeing what they're going to release Firewall in as like a mass production with the errata.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we don't have a confirmation on that yet, but yet we have a date on when Firewall's legal again.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, that's
really weird.
Great point. It is weird because you think they'd want to get at least a normal version of the card to people as fast as possible so that they could, play the card without having to show the text to your opponent with the phone. So that is an odd choice. I agree with that. Grunt,
and honestly,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say something. Sorry. Honestly, it felt like a really, what's the word? Petty. It was really petty for them to go after the reprints that they did.
Yeah.
Because they were slowly going up on the secondary market. So something like reprinting, and they did it like halfway. Like they didn't do Danger Bigfoot, but they did Danger Thunderbird, which was starting to climb.
Yep.
I actually just sold 2 copies of that last week, so I'm so glad I got rid of my copies.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because of our leak, I sold my Lightning Storms and kept my Evenlies because I'd rather keep, the cheaper of the two. And Lightning Storm wasn't actually in the set.
Yeah.
And Evenly was, so I just like completely minus there in terms of what I could have got rid of. But anyway, they really they danced around. They didn't get all the Cosmos. Farm Girl got bought out. But yeah, they did like petty attempts at the cheaper cards on the market that just were climbing a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's really odd for me. Like, why go after a $22 card when there's $100 secrets?
Yeah. Oh, I totally get it. Absolutely. Grunt, your thoughts?
I mean, and here's the thing. I'm not here to defend Konami, but what I'm going to say to everybody who's been complaining about the last Ghost Rare, I understand your complaints, but being mad that it's not DMG, I'm just going to say this and be blunt. You played yourself. Because here's the thing, and I'm not trying to sound petty. Again, it's just that after the BLS got revealed, there were a few other fake Ghost Rares that were kind of floating around. There was a fake Winda. I think there was a fake Stardust, maybe. There were a few cards that were obviously faked ghosts. And the smoking gun for me, and people were going off and on about how this DMG seemed legit, and I kept saying to myself, I don't think it's legit because of the OCG artwork, and people were like, well, no, it's possible. And in my opinion, I feel like people were putting way too much faith in this one leak, especially when the Firewall Dragon in that same leak wasn't even the right artwork, because we knew that the artwork for the Ghost Firewall was revealed to be the alt.
Right.
And again, you have people kind of dancing around the situation, being like, oh, well, they could have multiple artworks of Firewall in there. And I'm like, that's not how that works. It's just, I just feel like the DMG hate, like, again, if you bought this box just for DMG, you took a gamble on a leak, and somebody who made that quote-unquote leak is now laughing at you because they helped influence the market on this. And I'm not saying this is an amazing set. I agree with what KC says here with there being like half-done reprints. I mean, Thunderbird is a good reprint, but Bigfoot's worth more. Nessie is even worth more, and it's a one-of. I mean, a lot of these dangers are going up. I would have just said, like, doing Thunderbird now feels stupid because they could have just done more dangers in Battles of the Legend, and it wouldn't feel half-baked. If I have to say anything, I think that they've got the imports down. I mean, we're getting everything pretty much from the pack they got last year. So, we're getting the new vampire monster who's okay.
Yes.
The Laval stuff.
Yeah, I'm really happy about the Holy Knight stuff, which has been renamed Starry. Which I would have preferred they kept it holy. I liked the way it was already written. We're way too politically correct, I think, these days. When we can't even put holy on a card.
One would say that it was unholy of them to do that.
Honestly, is it wrong? Is it wrong that I wanted them to name them Silent Night if they were going to do Holy Night, because Holy Night, Silent Night,
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
I would have liked that. So I did want to respond to you, Grunt, but so this was actually one of the archetypes I'm most excited for in this set, and I found the name absolutely amazing, and the fact that they changed it to Starry Night, like, man, that sucks. Like, that takes out like half the enjoyment to me, because like the lore is what really makes this archetype, because it's obviously taking inspiration from the Bible, and I find that to be very interesting.
Yes.
Anyways, I wanted to respond to something you said, Grant, about Dark Magician Girl. I don't think people are necessarily mad. Well, some people are mad that it's not Dark Magician Girl.
I'm not saying everyone
themselves.
Is.
But I'm specifically not mad that it's not Dark Magician Girl. Like, I wasn't like betting on it. I wanted the last Ghoster to be a really cool collectible one, and the fact that like literally it's one that they could have put in a set in our next set, it makes no sense. It kind of feels like whatever they're putting in our next set, they might have like swapped the orders of the Ghost Rares. Something else I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about what Casey said. How this set has half reprints.
Yeah,
I'd agree. It's pretty bad. They should have. It's weird to me because they put the new Dragoonity stuff in here, but they didn't reprint like Dragon's Ravine. They didn't reprint like Ducks. They didn't they didn't reprint like the bulk of the decks. And it's like if you're making a set that's not particularly good and it's targeting a few decks, at least put all the decks, of the deck core in it, so I can go out and get it. This set is basically nothing because if I don't already have the deck core, which I don't have a lot of these cores, what am I opening them for? I'm opening it for the chase card, the chase cards, which are the Ghost Rares, which are super short printed, or I'm opening it for the 3 of evenly matched. That's pretty bad. Yeah. Now, it's not all negative. It's mostly negative. I'm not gonna lie, but there is some positive. Yes. I did find the emergency teleport reprint much needed, and I think that's gonna be awesome.
Yes.
The Buster Dragon, I think that was a really good reprint. That card should not have been $50. So glad that that's in it. Especially considering it got reprinted in ultra rare as well. So that's the original rarity. But honestly, outside of that, you're rough for reprints, man. They reprinted Gigantus. Like, why'd that need to be reprinted? Evil Thorn, I found that to be a good one. Photon Thrasher's a cool one, but that didn't need to be in here. The Madolche, the Madolche stuff didn't need to be in here.
No. Pudding Cess needed to be in here.
Pudding Cess, but not the Link monster.
Right. No, but people will agree that I'm just trying to defend Madolche players here. They've been wanting a hollow Pudding Cesseur and Chateau for a while.
Yeah, they kind of got screwed in the tins.
Well, I mean, like, good that, like, they're getting rarity bumps, but, like, if this set's literally only for rarity bumps, like, that kind of sucks. Also, like, look at that trash. Splash Mage, Update Jammer. Like, that's disgusting, bro.
I know.
Who was, like, complaining about their Splash Mage not being
every
It's funny. I like how they brought up stuff that's obviously for Salamangreats, but they didn't give us the decode Salamangreat link that probably would have synergized with them. They just gave us random. And, I'm going to rant here about dragon stuff. Dragoonity gets 1 reprint in Phalanx, but they give Heretics like 10? I'm not complaining here. I like Heretics, but they didn't.
Well, I like Heraldics too, but that I agree with you. That made absolutely no sense. And then I saw a card. Sorry, I'm really pissed off. I just saw a card on that list, and it pisses me off. Chrono, please scroll down.
Okay, I'm scrolling back.
Scroll to T, please.
Okay, going to the T section. Okay, I am back there.
Okay, now keep scrolling down. Go up a little bit. Or actually, is it even in order? Whatever. Anyways, let me tell you guys something. You see that trash right there? Terror of Trishula? Bro, what a waste of a reprint slot. Like, it literally just got printed, like, not even a month ago, in a structure deck, as a super rare. Bro, why do we need this as an ultra rare?
That's why we were going to get this set even earlier.
Yes, it was supposed to come out in March.
Yeah.
It was literally going to come out a week after the structure deck. Can you imagine, like, who thought that was a good idea? Who at Konami R&D? Like, bro, are you guys high? Like, I genuinely want to know, like, are you guys high on something? Because some of these decisions are just, you can't explain them. Like, who at Konami R&D looked at Dragon Knight Draco Quest and went like, yes, that's what we need to reprint.
We need to reprint Mind Mold. We need to reprint, what's this? Recover? Recover's had a ton of reprints. Let's give it a hollow bump.
The Melfi players wanted their Mind Mold, man.
Hey, Hey, guys. I know that some of these metal foes were pretty common. Let's make them all ultra, and let's also like some of these are appreciated. I will say this right now.
In fairness, I actually do kind of like the Metaphos rarity bumps.
Can I just say?
Yeah, but we don't get electrolyte.
Can I just say it's
Yeah,
funny that
yeah.
we got Ojama Emperor last year, and they waited this long to reprint Ojama Country?
No,
I'd be so pissed if I spent $10 on an Ojama rare, man, just for it to get reprinted less than a year later. Like, oh man, the absolute disrespect.
Let's talk about the Arm Dragon level 10.
I mean, that kind of had to happen. I know there's the ultimate one out there, but technically they need to make one more accessible. Have you seen how stupidly overpriced the old ones have gotten?
Yeah, I know, but the point is, it's just like, it could have been something else.
It could have been something else. I think Casey hit it on the head. There are other cards that make so much more sense. Like, you guys already brought up Electromite. That would have been great to have unbanned, and it would have been great to release in this set. That would have been a great card for them to include in here. What are some other cards that should have been in?
While we're talking, before we move on to that, while we're talking about Arm Dragon level 10, I just wanted to rant about something else they do that really makes me mad. The Konami North America is so lazy, man. Especially in their OTS packs. Like, dude, the foiling on the OTS ultis is trash for America. Like, it doesn't stand out. Like, all you have is like the border, which is like highlighted. The actual card image has like no ulti foiling. It's disgusting.
Yeah, and then Rafflesia looks sad.
And then Konami NA is also super cheap. Like, if you look at the EU like openers, so the Yugi tubers who did the reveals, the EU people got 2 display cases. North American Konami gave them 2 boxes, man.
Oh, wow.
Like, come on, man, stop being cheap.
Insert joke about capitalism because people like complaining about it. But I get it. I would hate to only get 2 boxes and see Mr. Lithium opening 2 cases.
Why is that? Oh, sorry, Chrono. Why is that a reprint in the set?
Wait, what is a reprint? Let me see this. Oh,
what the heck?
Well, you know, the Starry Night people like to summon more than just the Radiant Say "Are you?"
I know. I don't understand.
Can I be honest here? I love this card. I understand not everyone does, but we've had stupid reprints. I mean, the Kaiba collection had a few normals reprinted. I can't fault them for this compared to, say, having 10 Hermetics.
Wait. Okay, Grunt. I'm going to have to heavily disagree here. I can fault them for this one. I understand people might enjoy this card, but there are better cards that we should have had that helps the price point, because this is one of the sets that is supposed to be a reprint set. Is that right, Casey?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. And
so it's actually supposed to...
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Carlos.
It's more of a premiere set. I mean,
so what I was trying to say is it's actually replacing our dual power / dual overload / dual not dual devastator. What's the other one? Is it dual devastator?
It's dual devastator.
No, dual devastator was the set. No, that was the deck set. Like they gave you the hand traps.
So it was dual power, dual overload, and then dual something
Saga.
Else. Yeah, dual saga.
There
I believe.
We go.
And so it reprinted that set, which is so sad because that set was $30 MSRP, but you got some bangers.
Yes.
Like last year we got Halki Firex, we got Verte Anaconda. You know what I mean? We got a lot of really good reprints and a lot of good exports. And like I'm not saying like we need to have that level of good. Man, we needed something better than just Selection 10. You know, Selection 10 was kind of trash.
I think here's the thing. I want to give Konami one piece of credit here. To be fair, you really can't beat what we got last year because we've literally waited an entire freaking format to get Halka Fibrax because OCG had that stuff in like year 1. Yeah. We didn't get that until Links were gone. Verite Anaconda, Dragoon came in the Megatins. Like, we just had a lot of stuff built up from the last year. I know that Burning Abyss players waited a while to get Cherubini, for example. The point is, there was so much hype, and there were so many other cool things that came out, not to mention Battles of Legend followed up as a banger with the 10,000 Dragon. But I guess what I'm trying to say is they had stuff to work with, but at the same time, they just didn't have anything as meta-defining as Halka-Fibrax. I, for one, am happy we got the Sunvine stuff, for example. I mean, it's not all of it. We'll probably get the rest in Battles of Legend, but for what they could have given us, I mean, they gave us a lot of stuff that we needed. It's just a debate of if it's as good as Needle Fiber. The Shadal players are happy, you know, the Unity players are happy. It's like, I don't know. I'm not trying to defend them here.
There's good stuff in this set, but Casey, I want to have you jump in here. So when I look at this, though, you had brought up earlier Lightning Storm. That would have been a great reprint to put in this set. It would have been great for so many players to finally have access to that card. What else did they miss here? Because when I'm looking at Time Thief stuff, I'm happy for all the Time Thief players that they got a rarity bump, but I think we could have had much better stuff here. What do you think they missed?
So first of all, I don't think, speaking of Time Thieves, I don't think half of that should have been even printed in here.
I agree.
Just because, I mean, especially Redoer, we've already had we have a scooper and a secret. Why did it need an ultra?
I completely agree.
Not to mention I'm not a Time Thief player, but anyone could tell you that most of the new Time Thief stuff, especially the new Xyz, is kind of garbage compared to Redoer.
Yeah, it's anyway. So like, I get getting imports and stuff, whatever. It's fine, but yeah. So here's where they really missed it. So on the leak I posted in our group, they had Shadal Schism. I felt like that would have been a nice one.
Yeah.
I also felt like even though they gave Shadal Dragon a super, I felt like Shadal Dragon should have gotten an ultra, so it would all match. So like they missed those in my opinion, but like some bigger ones, definitely the Lightning Storm. They could have done something even like the Adamantipator.
Yes.
We could have got a researcher print in here. That would have been nice.
Would have been really nice as an ultra rare.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, it would have looked nice as an ultra.
And then like, you know, there could have been anything from Eldritch. I know they're probably going to be in the tens, but the example is just like something else. Something like why are they being petty and going after? I mean, Spheres was one thing that needed reprinted. I'm not going to say they did a bad job by reprinting that. It was good. But I mean, as we've been touching on, they really should not have reprinted Thunderbird without doing other dangers.
Yes.
They really should not have touched on like Buster Dragon without putting in other things. Like Buster Dragon, here's where it should have been: Maximum Gold as a rare.
Yes.
That's where that should have been. Because all the other later stuff was in there.
Yeah, I agree with you so much. Because now, how many slots are available when we get the Megatins, Casey? How many will we have open for reprints?
So, I mean, we're still going to get good reprints. It's just, we're going to have the problem that we did, we have been having, which is it's going to be flooded.
Yes.
It's going to have too many cards. And if they continue with their clumping issue, these tins, they're going to be iffy.
And no promos.
Yeah, no promos.
That gets me so angry.
Guys, we have 3 world exclusive cards that are probably going to suck as much as the last 3.
Yeah, does anyone even remember the last 3? I remember one of those 3, and that's Successor Soul.
Who's that? Does someone else join the chat?
I don't think so.
No,
okay, sorry. Yeah, who just talked?
Oh no, that's Casey. Yeah, Casey's
no, before you, Grunt.
Casey?
Okay, I swear I heard someone else. Okay,
anyways. Now you got creepy things happening. No, okay.
Weird.
The ghost from the past.
Dude, I was shook. I thought someone just took over a conversation. I was like, what the heck? But yeah, there's just a lot of stuff about this set I don't like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just so much. I mean, the card I got up here, it's a 2500 light monster. Obviously, it's a dragon. I get why it's there because of the Holy Knight archetype or Starry Knight archetype. But there's just better stuff that should have hit. because I feel now that they have lost a good portion of people who want to buy the set because of the
Mm-hmm.
few reprints that are in here that are solid. So Carlos, how do you think this is going to affect the market with this set? Do you think players are going to go the OCG route and say, nope, not buying? I know a bunch of people already have. So is that going to cause a huge amount of, prices to be low for these junk cards like the one I have up here that are going to be extremely cheap because they just want to off them as fast as possible? What do you think the price fallout's going to be?
So, before I get to that, I did have a few points I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
Casey did mention the Megatons. I'm actually kind of glad they didn't touch the Secret Slayer stuff because I would love to see some of the all the Eldelish stuff is pretty much in Secret Rare already, which I have, except Cursed Eldland,
which is fine.
So I'd love Eldland to get a Secret Rare bump. I think that'd look beautiful.
I mean, if I want to. Oh, sorry, I was just going to add real quick. And that's why I'm glad I got rid of my Eldlands, because I was actually worried that a lot of the stuff I sent out to get flipped was going to get reprinted here. And the only thing that got reprinted is E-Telly. So I'm kind of happy that we didn't get some of the reprints we did. I mean, but again, I agree. Eldland definitely wants a good reprint.
Those did not come in today, by the way.
Yeah, I know they didn't. I'm looking at tracking. It's still in Indianapolis, and I'm just like, come on, you're right there.
Exactly. So anyway, go on, Carlos.
So yeah, in terms of market, I think all the ultra rares in this set are going to be pretty cheap. I think the most expensive is going to be evenly matched. Depends on the ratio.
Yeah.
I think we can look at anywhere between like maybe start off really cheap because this is going to be open a lot. Maybe start off at like 10. Over time, maybe jump to like 15, 20.
Yeah.
Because depending on the ratio of it, of course. The actual set itself hasn't really went down since these announcements, which I'm pretty surprised about. Like the main boxes are still double MSRP, or single boxes are still double MSRP at 30, which is ridiculous.
Wow.
That's on TCG Player. On eBay, you can find a display case for about I think the cheapest you can find it for right now is about $117, so that's not too bad. It's still over MSRP, which I wouldn't pay for a set like this, because it's trash. I would honestly just buy singles unless you got in really early and got a case, which thankfully I did. I'm actually hoping I pulled Dark Magician out of my case.
Oh, that'd be great.
So that. Also, I did just remember. Yeah, hopefully no print lines. I did just remember something. I know you were talking about the fact that Firewall is the alternative art. I absolutely hate that. I think it's trash. I prefer the original art. I think the original art's really iconic and really awesome.
Yeah.
So the fact that they put an inferior artwork as a ghoster, it's like, man, you guys really aren't in touch with your fan base, are you? Like,
I agree with that. I feel they're missing the mark with the fan base, and that's a big one. Something I wanted to touch on, some missed opportunities. I was thinking of some iconic cards, like what if each Ghost Rare had been in a piece of Exodia? How neat would that have been to do something like that?
Dude, that would have been.
I was thinking
that would have
of
been awesome.
Oh,
a Jinzo Ghost Rare would have been awesome. Chaos Emperor Dragon. I don't understand. I kind of get why they didn't do it. Do them as like Chaos Emperor Dragon and Blackluster Soldier because they just did them as collectors rare. But come on, man, you don't like. You're telling me that you put Chaos Emperor the Chaos Emperor Link or the Link, but not the original as a Ghost Rare. Like, the Link isn't what's iconic, man. It's the original. Like, the Link's gonna fade out of meta, and it's gonna be like years down the line. Or not, maybe not years, because things tend to go up over time, over years. But in the immediate future, it's not gonna be as expensive as the regular BLS would be, because it doesn't have that iconic factor. You know what I mean? Like, it's not from the show. It's just they chose terrible choices, in my opinion.
And I really like that you brought up the older archetypes. The set is titled Ghosts from the Past. You think that they would be choosing older stuff versus more recent, which they did with Dark Magician and Blue Eyes, but those cards are so iconic. I mean, it's not surprising that they would go that route. But man, I just feel there are some older cards that people who have always watched the original anime would just love, because the old anime, the original, it's always going to have fans, always going to have kids watching because that's the most iconic one. So I just feel there's some really big cards they missed there that could have been really fun. I had put in the Destiny board just because it was a set of 5. Casey, can you think of another set of 5 that would fit together that would be kind of something iconic that the fan base would like? Because we know Exodia is a set of 5. We know the Destiny board causes 5 because they were all about 5 ghost rares. So is there anything out there like that that fits together?
The 5 or 7 Mech Knights.
Oh, uh-huh.
I don't
But that's
Mech
recent
Knights.
though.
There's 7 Mech Knights.
I don't think that those are iconic enough to warrant a ghost rare. It would
You
have to
want
be
to?
I
You
was just
could-
saying. I was just trying to think of another
They
5.
they could have
If only-
done.
I was gonna say, if only they hadn't printed the Signer Dragons as ghost rares already, and if only they didn't mess up and add an extra freaking Signer Dragon
Mhm.
to make it 6Ds instead
don't
of the
talk about
show's
that.
title in 5Ds. Like, they could have done that as.
Yeah.
But besides that, I don't really. Like, it's hard, man.
I
Well,
mean,
and that's why I was thinking if there's something out there that is a set of 5 that's iconic, because I don't know the game and the lore as well as you guys do. But man, that I just feel it's a missed opportunity if you're going to go that low of a rarity. I just think it would have been neat, maybe if they even did 10 ghost rares.
Red Dragon Archfiend didn't get a ghost rare, did it?
No.
Yeah, that one
Mhm.
and that.
I get it.
Livestream Dragon. Well, the only reason that he didn't get a ghost rare is because he came out in the same set that Stardust Dragon came out, which was Duelist Genesis. So it was the first ever 5D set. And they only printed one ghost rare, which was typically the cover card back then. The problem is literally the next set is called Crimson Crisis, and it's based around Red Dragon Archfiend, which is so freaking stupid to me. Because if you guys had this planned out, and you know that you have this cool new rarity where the cover card of the set is the rarity, and you guys know that you have these 2 monsters, why not just take Red Dragon Archfiend and put it in Crimson Crisis?
Yeah.
And make that the cover card.
Carlos.
Can I say? I think I said this to Carlos before, and I'll say this. My only defense is that at least Scarlight got a ghost rare, and I say this because, for lack of a better word, the original Red Dragon Archfiend is kind of trash.
It is.
The assault mode. Well, it's not even about like practicality. It's about iconicness, and it's about completing the set. Currently, we have a crap ton of the ghost rares. The Signer Dragons as ghost rares already. We have Stardust Dragon. We have Black Rose Dragon. We have Ancient Fairy Dragon. We also have Blackwing Dragon. So that's 4. We also have Power Tool Dragon, which technically isn't a Signer Dragon, but it's like a pseudo Signer Dragon. Like Leo uses it. So we're only really missing 2: Livestream Dragon and Red Dragon Archfiend. So to me, a set like Ghost from the Past was the perfect opportunity to fill those slots and finally let collectors have their whole set complete.
Yeah, that's a great point. Casey, I heard
So
you
they
trying
could
to
do-
jump in. Go ahead. What were you wanting to say?
So I was just gonna say, technically, right now they could do 5 Signer Dragons because one of them is banned. The Ancient Fairy is banned. So
Well, she already has a ghost rare printing.
No, I was just saying, like, that would be another 5, like that they could have done.
Yeah.
Technically
Okay,
one is
I
banned.
get what you're saying.
What about
Anyway.
even some of the number cards? Would that have been interesting to have some of those in
The
that
issue is
ghost
there are
rare
too
slot?
many.
There's
They'd have-
way too
Oh,
many.
and there
They
are.
could have done different forms of Utopia.
That's what I was just gonna say. Is there
We
5
don't need
sets
more
of
Utopias.
Utopia?
Look. If we want to be reasonable, what they could do, because I'm trying to remember, because they were still printing ghosts at the start of Arc V. Did Clearwing get a ghost rare? Did Odd Eyes get a Ghost Rare?
Clearwing did get a Ghost Rare.
Yeah.
Odd Eyes did not get a Ghost Rare, which is really weird because Odd Eyes was actually the cover card of the set, and instead Konami being stupid and not having foresight, they didn't print Odd Eyes as a Ghost Rare.
What
Instead,
about Rebellion?
So currently Dark Rebellion and Clearwing are the only two the two with Ghost Rares. So they're missing Starving Venom and Odd Eyes. So you could print
and
Starving
Zarg.
Venom. Yeah, Zarg too, if you really wanted to get specific.
You know,
so they could do that.
You guys brought up Odd Eyes. I really like the idea of that as a Ghost Rare. That would have been sweet looking.
Well, it is a Ghost Rare though in the OCG, and they yes, that's the thing that pisses me off. They decided to switch Odd Eyes with Malakota, Malebranche of the Burning Abyss, and it's like, who the heck in their
Malakota? Oh wait,
it's the rich.
No, I know. That's the joke. Nobody plays Malakota.
It's bad. And then so I did have an idea. Speaking like all this renting did give me an idea. They don't necessarily have to do a set of 5. If they did want to do something, they could do it like a set of 3 and then a set of 2. I think a really good homage to the past would be if they did one of each of the legendary knights or the legendary dragons as a ghost rare, and then the 2 extra slots could be Obelisk and Slifer. Yeah, Slifer as ghost rare.
Because got a ghost rare already. Yeah.
Dark Arm Dragon and Judgment Dragon.
Oh my god, I would pay so much money for those.
Me too.
You know what I was expecting when they did Dark Magician and Neos? Not Neos. Blue Eyes. I was expecting them to do, before they revealed more stuff, I was expecting them to do Neos, Stardust again, or maybe some other form of Stardust. Like maybe they would have done Shooting Quasar, and then they could have done Utopia.
Like real or not bad. Bad with a word at the end of it that I can't say on the stream. It rhymes with sass. That's all I'm saying. The Neos one would be good.
It would have been bad in a slang type of way.
So in essence, the conversation we're having right now is the reason why I'm mad about this, how the set came out. They had so many good options, man, and they chose like probably not the worst one because I'm gonna be honest, Crystal Wing's really cool and it probably did deserve a Ghost Rare, but like they chose the one that didn't make the most sense given the circumstance.
Yeah, there were a lot of good choices.
There's my Karibo.
Where's my winged Karibo? They literally could have done 5 different Karibos. And
there you go, Curry Bandit, yo, let's go.
No, like Karibo, Karibo.
Rainbow Karibo, man.
Could you imagine the original Karibo?
Karibo for all you speed duelers out there.
That would have been epic if they did that.
You guys are Rainbow Karibo as a Ghost Rare would look sick because of all the colors.
Yeah,
exactly.
That would be dope.
Exactly.
And honestly, man, like I'm still on what you said. Like the Dark Arm Dragon, Judgment Dragon as a Ghost Rare. Oh my god, that would be beautiful.
Yes,
especially if they added something like Light and Dragon or Light and Darkness Dragon. Yes, Light and Darkness Dragon. The one that's half black and half white.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
So cool.
There's your 5 right there.
They did a Blue Eyes card, but they couldn't do Red Eyes. Like if Red Eyes would have been a nice ghost, especially since it was also well, let's be honest here. We all know that someone out there would shill out God knows how much money to get a Ghost or a Dark Magician and Red Eyes to to frickin' just brag about it when they're summoning Dragoon.
People pay $200+ for the OCG Red Eyes, so I can only imagine what they'd pay for the TCG Red Eyes.
Yeah, it would be absolutely huge. Casey, now that we know what the set list is, when do you think is the time to ever sell? Do you think it's just going to go up and up and up if you own one of these?
For which one?
For a Ghost Rare. Which one?
Oh, the Ghost Rare?
Yeah, which one do you think is going to probably have the highest price you never want to let go of?
To be honest, Okay, so Dark Magician 100% is going to be a thing. Alternative is definitely a collector, but the sleeper here is the BLS. I know what Carlos was saying when it's not like as iconic as the other one.
Yeah.
However, it's going to always be the highest rarity of this card, and it is a good card, and so it has the potential to reach the up and ups of the, you know, and people are gonna get these cards graded, assuming quality control is decent on them.
Right.
But that's what they'll be going after is those three. I mean, there's gonna be collectors for all five, I feel, but I mean, honestly, the Firewall, no one's. I mean, the main collectors aren't gonna like that one.
Yeah.
And then Crystal Wing,
because of the art.
Crystal Wing's gonna look nice, but it's not the Stardust Dragon. It's not the Dark Magician. It doesn't have that same nostalgic feel.
Yeah.
As the other ones do.
Yeah, I agree.
But the BLS one is probably the underlying one, just because it's really, really good.
Let's hit on what you said there with quality control, because I know with Maximum Gold, there was definitely issues. It was really bad the way some of the cards were printed. It was very upsetting. I got a card that came straight from a pack, and it looked like it had been cut with scissors. So what? I mean, I could not believe it when I saw the Alistair. I was like, "Oh,
I want to see a card that accidentally gets the entire thing ghost rared."
Oh gosh, yeah, Jiminy Christmas!
God, I can't imagine.
Yeah, could you imagine the price of a misprint like that? Wow.
Keep it away from the internet memes.
No, that would I normally hate misprints, but that would probably be the best thing you could have happen to you. No, I'm serious. There's some misprint collectors. Like if you had a card that was printed by Konami in a rarity that they're like, dude, people eat that stuff up. Like you could literally demand whatever you want from a 1-of-1 card in the world, and like people would pay it.
Yeah. Well, especially with all the extra money people have right now.
I have a question for you guys.
Go ahead.
Sure.
So we know a large sample size has been shown to us through YouTube videos.
Yes.
You have the exact set list.
Yes, we have the exact set list.
And usually when they do alternative arts, they do have another slot that will say it's the same card, right?
Okay.
Usually. Sometimes. It depends on the set.
Okay, sometimes. So here's my theory. I think just magically no one pulled it. It's more of a hope. I hope they put an ultra rare Firewall Dragon with the original art in the set with the text. Because of what we were talking about, that we have no current card. We have no way to have the new text outside of the Ghost Rare. So it wouldn't make any sense for them to do it like in another set.
That's interesting, Casey. I hope that you're right with that. And guys, if he's right with that's pretty amazing. Because I would really hope that we get.
That would be one good way for them to redeem themselves.
It would, because that would at least bring down the frustration with this set just a bit. Because I thought this was going to be like Secret Slayers last year. I thought it was going to be awesome. Or even Dual Power. I thought this was going to be great, and it's just not.
Well, in fairness, I've been finding myself saying that a lot about Konami recently. Like their recent sets have not been good. Like for what it's worth, Genesis Impact had an archetype that ended up being meta for a time, and even that set didn't do well.
Yeah,
like their sets just haven't been good recently.
Yeah,
like I don't know what like is, and honestly, I do kind of know Konami's shooting themselves in the foot. Like they're basically I think the success of like a set like Battles of Legend kind of like got to their head. So they think like people will just buy sets because of a chase card. Well, in reality, people aren't stupid. Like, you know the ratios. You know what I mean? It's not like impossible to pull the chase card. So like, really, you're only gonna open a little bit of the set and like try to get lucky. But like, you're pretty much better off just buying singles. What Konami doesn't realize is, man, the key to good sales is really simple. Just make a good set.
Yes.
Make a set that has good reprints. Make a set that has a few good imports. We're not asking for the world, just a few good ones.
Yep.
And then make like the chase card, but make it an interesting one. Like stop like whoever's in the R&D department, man. Like you need to get you need to stop.
Yeah.
You need to chill.
And he's so right with this, because you've got to have a good set. I always look for, are there good reprints? Because honestly, that's what I'm buying. Is I want the reprints.
And then if you get lucky,
yes, then I'm happy if there's something else that I get in the process. But
the problem, one of the other problems is they're like underprinting stuff, and people are able to buy to scalp this stuff for double the retail price of these boxes. So someone like you who's only looking for reprints, this set instantly becomes garbage.
Oh, absolutely.
Because there's no good reprints, and not only is there's no good reprints, you're being asked to pay double for the chance that you might get lucky. It's like, I don't think so, bud. Like, this set's terrible. And for all the vendors who bought this at double MSRP from your distributor, like, dude, you were literally high if you did that, and you expect now your customers to pay on the back end, because your customers most definitely. What I'm saying is, like, that, you can scalp, but you have to have people interested, and the set is just not interesting anymore. So I fully expect the price to go down a little bit, and if the price doesn't go down, people are just going to be eating their words. Also, I just want to shout out, I got in so freaking early on this set. I think I bought it like 6 months ago or something. I bought a case, and I only paid like $400. It might have been around Black Friday, but it might have been earlier than that. I ended up paying like $460 for a case. Boy, is that a good deal right now.
Oh yeah, because it's still so pricey. Absolutely.
If you weren't digging for the ghosts, I'd say just flip it. But
yeah, I am digging for the ghost. I'm hoping that I got a really good case that has 2 ghosts.
That'd be good.
I'm gonna look at the ratios. Maybe the ratios are like 1 a case, and then like I open display cases until I pull the ghost, and then try to flip it. But that's kind of shitty. Sorry, excuse my language.
You're okay.
But that's kind of crappy. And I typically I don't do that, because like it's just not good practice to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, go right ahead, Casey.
Before we go on, I do want to fix this whole firewall situation. I totally skipped the fact that we are getting another set that gives us collector's rares. So I'm going to call my shot here. Firewall will be a rare and a collector's rare in the next one that's coming out with the stuff. That's because it's right around that time. When is Firewall legal? I think it's the
it's the same day.
The same day. I think
the set releases.
Yeah, the 15th.
Oh, okay.
So April 16th for sure.
Oh, geez. Okay. Well. Okay. Well.
Yeah, that's the problem.
It can still definitely be in here.
They reprinted Firewall without an easy access. Like, they're stupid, man.
I know.
I guess.
Go ahead, Grant.
I think there's a takeaway, and I speak as somebody who's not at all a big investor in this game when it comes to sealed product. But I will tell you that whenever I do invest in a sealed product, it's usually after I know something about the product. Aside from knowing that there were ghost rares in this set, I did not jump on this because I didn't know everything that was going to be in here. But when I invested in what was it called? It wasn't Dual Power last year, was it?
Dual Devastator?
Dual Devastator, I think. Yeah, so when I invested in that set last year, I knew that Halqifibrax and Verte Anaconda were probably going to be in there, so I found like that was a sound investment. And again, we knew some things that were coming in that set based on some info. So I'm like, okay, I can get an idea of what's coming here. Or the Megatins, I ordered those a few
Oh
years
yes,
ago.
the Megatins for
Back
2019 were golden. Those were great.
back when I knew Nibiru was being added, I'm like, okay, Nibiru's a big thing. I'm gonna get a case of these and hope I get a playset of all the good World Premiere stuff. And I did. And again, my last piece of like investment that I've done this year is I jumped the gun and I invested in this year's tins. And I know people are like, but there's no promos. But the reason why is because with Ignition Assault and with Rise of the Duelist, Eternity Code, and Phantom Rage, like all of these sets have amazing cards in them, and I feel like it's going to be much more well-rounded. Because let's be honest, Savage Strike, horrible set, only a few good cards to pull from those reprints.
I don't know about that, buddy. I think Savage Strike was a pretty good set.
I think it was an okay set. You got Pot, you got Thanos Dragon, and that's pretty much it.
Savage Dragon.
Yeah, but that's like 3 cards out of 100. Compare that to like Eternity Code, where we have Access Code Talker, we have Gearsu, we have Chamber, who's been stupid expensive lately, and that's just the secrets. We've had some of the Ultras. I mean, Rise of the Duelist speaks for itself. Dogmatica, Ice Dragon's Prison. I don't think anyone's paying 50 cents or $50 per card on that right now. But
I sold those for way too cheap. I sold those for like 15. I was like, oh yeah, price bump. Let's go, $15.
Yeah, I feel sorry for you, but
it's fine, dude. Like more often than not, I tend to make good decisions. That was just one of the few times I've been burned recently. So,
but that's my advice to anyone out there who wants to be savvy about investing. I'm not saying that you're going to always plus, but if you want your best chance of plussing, try to get somewhat of an idea of what you're getting, because we have people who invested, and I know there are some people out there who invested just because of the Dark Magician Girl, quote unquote, league. And well, guess what? Now the thing that they believed in is gone, and they're mad at Konami when this isn't Konami's fault. I don't like saying this. It's their fault for believing in a league.
No, I do want to say it kind of is Konami's fault, to be honest, because if you remember, no, I'm not even trying to front. Like, if you remember, a couple weeks ago they were doing Ghost from the Past reveals, and they revealed every single Ghost Rare except one Ghost Rare.
Yeah,
that isn't a coincidence. They obviously saw the kind of havoc that rumor was causing on the secondary market, and for better or for worse, Konami just shut their mouth and they're like, "Ooh, we have one more Ghost Rare," and people automatically assumed, okay, that's the Dark Magician Girl, and they know we're excited about it, so
and
they're waiting to reveal
like
it
crazy for a month straight.
When in reality it was like, oh, we're gonna sell a crap ton of product if we just shut our mouth. And technically that's not lying, but that damn sure isn't being honest.
Yes, and it was just to keep the sales going, because I mean, there's plenty of people who have bought that are going to have to flip. I mean, they're going to have to make their money back. And unfortunately, with not having the best reprints in this set, I don't know how well they're going to do. I mean, that's the problem.
So I did want to bring up some points. To me, the thing that would have saved this set is if they put a decent ratio in it, right? In terms of the Ghost Rares. Like, if the Ghost Rares were one a display case, dude, I'm buying like a lot of display cases, The problem is they made these Ghost Rares so astronomically hard to pull that, like, for the average retailer, it's not smart to buy this set. Just buy the singles, because it's going to be cracked for the Ghost Rares, and the singles are going to be extremely cheap. So this set has a really weird dichotomy that I don't think we've seen in like modern time. Like, we've seen sets go burr, but we haven't seen a set go double MSRP before. And the fact that it's absolutely trash in retrospect, it's I don't know. People are either going to be stubborn and try to hold out, or it's going to drop, and it's going to drop bad. And something else.
Sorry, I was just going to say, have you noticed ever since Rise, people have literally been like, "Oh, this is going to be the hottest thing," because what they did in Rise, they're gonna just give us a bunch of really good cards, and they keep tricking themselves into thinking that Konami does this.
People are gullible.
But see, the thing is, in retrospect, that's retrospective, because Rise of the Duelists, when it first came out, it was a really good set. You know, Triple Tactics Talent, like Nadir Servant, and Droplets, and those are only aged over time. But the real creme de la creme of Rise of the Duelists for me is not necessarily the top, which is like that's absolutely amazing. You know, it is awesome. But the middle tier, you can find so much value that didn't exist at the start. Like the Ice Dragon's Prison was like a $5 card for the longest, man. Like, people didn't realize how good this set was, and that was more like a retrospective thing. That, like, honestly, I wish I would have gotten in on that. And then going back in on Ghosts from the Past, something I did want to mention real quick. We do have like a kind of 1-for-1 comparison in the fact that they had a set in the past called Gold Series Haunted Mine that had Ghost Rares in it. And Haunted Mine had 6 Ghost Rares in it, I believe. So it had more Ghost Rares than this set, right?
Oh, wow.
Yep.
And they literally gave you, it was a $30 MSRP, so you were paying double. You only got 1 pack, and each pack had 1 single Ghost Rare in it, right? My thing is, that set was amazing because you were literally guaranteed a Ghost Rare, yet the Ghost Rares still held their value. Like, if you look now, they had the Blue Eyes White Dragon tablet artwork in the set. That card is still over $190 near mint. So there is no way in hell they should have, like, looked at the set and went, we need to short print the Ghost Rares. Because they have historical data that proves short printing the set isn't necessarily the thing that's going to sell it.
Absolutely.
Because Gold Series Haunted Mine has, like, absolutely went crazy. Like, a case of that, not even a case, a display case of that thing is $500 right now.
Wow.
And you're literally guaranteed a Ghost Rare in every single box.
That's
and
amazing.
The fact that they looked at that and they didn't replicate that is disgusting to me, because there's no way that if you put if you follow the same format, right? You made this Ghost from the Past a $30 MSRP set, which is basically what it is now, because that's what people are selling it for, right? If you made it a $30 MSRP set, you slashed it in half. You only added the Selection 10 stuff, right? The reprints, you move that to a different product, but only the Selection 10. And then you put the Ghost Rares. There's no way you could tell me the Ghost Rare Dark Magician in like 10 years isn't going to be at least $100. You know, that's the thing that kills me. It's like, you guys could have made your money and made people happy.
Instead, you Blue Eyes White I'm sorry, you brought up the Haunted Mine, so I brought it up. Is there already a Ghost Rare Blue Eyes White Dragon?
Yeah, but it's not the OG artwork. They totally could make it off like a band with the original artwork.
Oh gosh. Okay, if there's already a Ghost Rare, I know it may not be the artwork we're looking for. At least open up the slot for another Ghost Rare. Oh god.
You got alternative in this one.
Right, alternative's fine. Okay. But why do another Blue Eyes? Oh.
So the cheapest you can buy the Ghost Rare Blue Eyes on TCG Player, you can buy a lightly played for $98 plus $5 shipping. But this is a store that just launched, so I'm not sure how credible.
Yeah.
You could buy one for $125. This guy has 71 sales, is pretty trusted. Near mint, though, check this out. Near mint is $191. So there, like, you could have, like, that's the thing that makes me mad. Like, you could have had your cake and we could have eaten it too. Like,
unbelievable.
You don't have to short print everything, man. It's really rough.
What a missed opportunity here. I think Casey, that's what I'm going to always look back at with this. What a missed opportunity for Konami. Are you starting to think that 2021 is kind of that year for them?
So yeah, every so often, they struggle sometimes to keep it fresh because usually how they shake things up a lot in the game is with a new game mechanic or a new summoning condition. they've been dry for a little bit, and the last time they did it was the shakeup that basically got me to where I wanted to come back in, or at least open my eyes to the possibility of coming back in, which was getting rid of that Master Rule 5.
Yeah.
But some of these archetypes they're coming out with are not. They're definitely suboptimal. They're not strong enough to sell the sets. They're not stronger than, for example, normal summon Alistair, search invocation.
Yes.
Make a play.
So that's a really big problem because Alistair has been out for what, 3 years now? I think it came out 4 years now. It came out in 2017, I believe.
Yeah, I think it was
At least,
2017.
The fact that the Konami R&D can't power creep their own game, is kind of sad. I'm not saying everything needs to be power creep, but like they haven't been improving product. Like and the thing that really shocks me is that they're kind of regressing product. Like they'll find the winning formula for something and they'll change it.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, why change it? Like the 2019 Megaton.
Oh, that was great.
That was amazing.
Yeah. Best Megaton ever, in my opinion. I've bought, I think, 4 or 5 of those. They were so good. And I don't do that. I mean, you made your money back instantly, basically.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It had what you wanted. You know, it had the promos. It had the really good cards in different rarities. And it's like, okay, we're going into 2020. Literally, if they put Dragoon as a promo and then imported some other stuff, that would have been awesome.
That would have been great.
And then Toon Chaos too. Toon Chaos was amazing. And then the next 2 sets we get that have collector's rare or collector's rares are what? Genesis Impact? Like that's trash. And then what was the set before that? Was it just Toon Chaos and Genesis Impact?
Yeah, we're getting the one with the bear synchros.
Right.
That looks like
bears.
So that looks like it's going to be bad too. So you see,
Ancient
like
Guardians,
it's
right?
like,
oh come on, don't go sleeping on the Abyss.
But Carlos, Snake Rain, Carlos.
There's a combo with Abyss. That stuff is good.
Look, my problem is they take 1 step forward and then, despite themselves, they take 2 steps back, which sucks. And then, sorry, one more thing I had to say. I was thinking, right? You know what card would have been perfect to put in Ghost from the Past? Like, even if you short printed it, this card would have been perfect. Crossout Designator. Why is this not in here?
Yeah.
Crossout Designator has been in the OCG for like months, years now. Why? Especially because they limited
All by the Grave.
The Call by the Grave, exactly. So it's like, come on, guys. Like, what are you doing?
I think that was more so for tactics.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. If you have a card, if you have a card that is literally 3 ban cards put together, and the card still isn't good enough for you to play without limiting a different card, first and foremost, there's something wrong with your game. Like, there's just something fundamentally not working.
Grunt, I want you to hop in. So, you mentioned the Megatons. Casey has talked with me about the Megatons. He's got me convinced I need to pick a case up. Which that would be iconic if I do that, because I've never done that. So, Grunt, do you think the Megatons could be the saving grace for Konami this year? And if so, why?
Well, again,
they're probably gonna mess it up.
That's the thing. They could totally mess it up. I'm not saying they won't. I'm just saying that, again, compared to Ghosts of the Past, where I feel like people were really, really jumping on the bandwagon, assuming so many things, I think that I'm making fair assumptions on this. And I think anyone who's invested in these tins so far has made a fair assumption. One, I spent well under MSRP for 12 tins, so that's already a nice deal in my opinion versus buying them on release. Like I think I spent $160, which is like 8 tins.
Wow, that's
for 12
great.
of them.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So that's that. The other thing is that again, we already know now, especially now with the increase on the list, we already know that Ignition Assault is in there, so there's your Lightning Storm and whatever else was in Ignition Assault. I don't really remember.
Right.
You've got your Eternity Code.
No, wait, that's
that was like that was like the only thing in Ignition Assault, which is the problem.
Let me actually look at Ignition Assault real quick.
At Ignisters.
At Ignisters, yeah. Rose. We'll get a reprint of Rose. We'll get a reprint of Asa finally. The Gizmech in that set was okay, I guess. I mean, the Plunder Patrols, there's some good stuff in here. Some budget stuff.
You know what would be really awesome to keep the Megatons fresh? If they put Starlights in the Megatons. Like, that would be cool. That would be fresh. But
we do get the special looking secret rares. I mean, Ignition Assault has some good stuff in it. I mean, it's not awesome, but I mean, hey, Lightning Storm is good enough in my opinion to warrant it. Eternity Code, I mean, I shouldn't have to talk about Eternity Code. There's so much in there. Chamber, the Ghost Girl, Archosaur, Access Code, Gear Suit, Gravedigger's Trap Hole.
Yeah.
Fusion Deployment is going up in
Code
price.
came in, that'd be great. That would be really good.
Madolche Salon to go with the Madolche stuff that they've been reprinting in the last year. So no, Eternity Code already has a ton of stuff, and that's mostly just the secrets I went over.
Yeah.
Rise of the Duelist speaks for itself. I mean,
yeah.
If this set was just reprinting stuff from Rise of the Duelist, why wouldn't I jump on that? You know,
it's literally if they made a Rise of the Duelist Unlimited print, I'd be there, man. Like, that set is good.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
and I have everything from this set already, and I want to open it more.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
Well, you go to the first page, and it's like money, money, money. You got your droplets, your talents, your Nadir Servant. Like, that's three cards right there that are at or above around $100.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking to sell my copies right now.
I would. If you're not playing in person or virtually, I would.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I am not, and I'm so trying because I need money to fund all these ghosters from Ghosts from the Past, man. That's
Ice Dragon's Prison, Shaddoll Schism, the Dogmatica package, Chaos Ruler. I bought Chaos Ruler for like $5, and now he's almost 30, and I'm like, well, time to flip him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Odd Eyes Revolution, Fallen of Albaz, if he gets good.
Yeah.
And the list goes on. It's like Rise of the Duelist.
So Casey,
there's a lot of good stuff.
Speaking of which,
go ahead.
Did you see? Sorry, just random. Did you and Casey see that I pulled a Blue Eyes White Dragon from LOB?
Did.
Yeah, I did. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I lost my mind because I handed my girlfriend 3 packs and I'm like, hey, pick a pack for me. And she's like, yeah, this middle one, it feels really good. And I'm like, okay, bet. and I pulled it. I flipped I was like, bro, no way. So random plug, guys. Shut up, me.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
I would love to have that power where I could just touch a pack and know this one feels good. This has got the big card in it.
I wish I had that. It's. But no,
she's normally not. Sorry, she's normally not like money with like the regular card packs. She's money with the Megatons, man. Like, whenever she hands me a Megaton, I don't even speak. I just pay for it, and I'm always rewarded. Like, the last time she handed me a Megaton, I pulled. I kid you not. I pulled Dragoon. I pulled IP Masquerena, and I pulled Borderlord Savage Dragon out of one single tin that she picked out for me.
That's amazing.
She's money with those tins.
Yeah, that's awesome. Don't let her go, Carlos.
That ghost rare ring.
Casey, I always love your take on if the consumers decide not to buy. We already know a lot of this product has been bought, but what if it gets to the store shelves and people just let it sit? How could Konami kind of force something? Because I know you said with this Spirit Charmers deck that they're going to force us to move slower, and they did. So what do you think the fallout will be from this set if we don't end up purchasing it to where they make enough money?
Real quick, on that comment, Dark Ruler No More is in there.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And that is now a $5 card.
Yeah.
for the common.
Yeah.
So they did force that on us by giving us this format. So that was interesting. But anyway, so this is not something that they would do that to. Basically, they've already made their bed with the Ghost Rares. Scalpers are gonna, if it's going on the shelves, scalpers are gonna get to it. They're gonna hold on to it. They're gonna just wait and wait and wait. Mm-hmm. Or if they're trying to flip quick, as Carlos has mentioned a couple times throughout this, it's still at double MSRP. So those people who are going to camp out the night before the vendor gets to Walmart's, they're going to clean them out. They're going to reflip them at double the MSRP.
Jeez. Wow.
You know, assuming that people are still paying double MSRP now. I feel like the fallout's already happening.
I mean, the thing is with stimulus checks, and there's reported more stimulus checks coming.
Yeah.
So the point is, people are going to think they're okay. They're gonna drop, you know, a couple $100, try and pull a ghost rare that they want, or to try and flip. These ghost rares, because of their shortage, aren't right away going to be. And again, this is all based off of quality control. Mm-hmm. If they're actually good ghost rares and they don't mess up, they're not a lot of print lines, they actually do their job. These ghost rares are going to be at least $100 right off the bat.
Jeez.
They're going to be up there.
Wow.
They're going to sell the set.
I'm probably gonna.
So that's the point.
I think my biggest and sorry to jump in, but
okay.
I think you're actually kind of underselling them, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because normal ratio for a ghoster is 1 a case, and
right.
a normal ghoster, depending on how good it is, can range from like. Unlimiteds are typically cheaper. They're like 60 to 100, right? But the high end ones, you're looking at $400 to $600 for a really good quality.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
And the fact that
sell it.
Yeah, and the thing that scares me is these ghost rares are even more hard to get, because it's not just it is probably 1 a case, but since there's 5 of them at 1 a case, it's really like 1 every 5 cases. And at that point, you're looking not at ghost rare prices, you're looking at starlight rare prices, which really scares me.
Ooh.
Fair enough. So yeah, that's my answer. Is that they will sell regardless, just because there's collector's value in it, and that's where our market has kind of been since remote duels have taken over.
Well, and what worries me is, I like when I was I can't remember who I was talking to, but they talked about how in Japan this does not happen because the people will absolutely refuse to buy the product. And
that was actually me. I told you about that. It's cultural. It's cultural difference. Like, Japanese people refuse to gamble, which is probably the smart thing to do.
It is,
and they're like, hey,
yes.
And they're like, hey, Konami, you're gonna give us our product and you're gonna give it to us how we like it, or else we're not gonna buy the set. And Konami's like, okay, I guess we'll do that. But in America, Konami's like, hey, here's a really shiny card, short printed. And then American people are more like, it's cultural, which sucks. But people are like, okay, I'm gonna gamble, and I'm guilty of it too. You know, I buy cards to try to pull some shiny cardboard. It just,
for the longest times, I have always bought singles because I just feel it's safer to do that. The only sets that I've ever bought was the Pendulum Evolution. I think that's what it was called. The one that had Harmonizing Magician and Purple Poison Magician, because you could buy the box and it was just like buying the singles, and then you had all these extra commons or extra cards for trade, and for me that was a win-win. You know, buying a box like that to me is the best way to go if you can make a product like that. And it is so frustrating that they're not making more sets like that, because I thought Secret Slayers was like that. It got to the point where I was looking at, you know, pricing boxes because I thought there was just so much good stuff in there. I thought this is a great quality product. And for them to do this, something's got to happen in this market so that Konami learns you need to treat us like you do in the OCG, giving us those great cards, because it's very frustrating for a budget player like myself. Very, very frustrating. Because I actually wanted to buy boxes. That's how hype I was about this.
You know what I like about the OCG too? They don't use a specific card to sell a set, to be honest. Like, they use different rarities. Like, hey, if you want an Ash Blossom in this set, sure, it'll be here as a common.
Yep.
It'll be here as an ultra rare, but it'll also be here as a secret rare and a gold rare. And those ones have more value because they're printed less often.
Yeah.
But you can still, at the end of the day, get your cheap card, which is something that America doesn't do enough of, in my opinion.
I agree. I think of Toon Kingdom. That was a common over there. I just don't get it. If you were to do more of that, I think it would lead to more people playing the game, and not having to go to this scalpers market where people are just snatching up products so fast. Unless you jump on board, you're left behind, and that's a really frustrating feeling. But so guys, that's going to do it for us. I just saw the time. Casey and I have a Bible study here in a few minutes. So
Yes, we do.
we're going to let you go here. So I want to say thank you so much, Carlos, Grunt, and Casey. It was a fascinating conversation. I feel like we really got out our frustrations that we felt about Ghosts from the Past, but also talking about what was good about the set. Grant, I felt you did a very nice job coming back in about that, because there were some good things. But it was an excellent discussion, guys. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. So again, guys, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. And if you wouldn't mind, I would like a last second closing remark, just because this set was so hyped for me, and now it's kind of like meh. I think something they could have done, and I'm going to end on this. I think something they could have done is they could have reprinted the there was like a Battles of Legends set, Heroes Revenge, Relentless Heroes Revenge, that had a lot of really really good cards in it. They had the Trap Trick Sarah. It had the Heroes. I feel like if they would have taken some of the stuff from here, or even like some of the Legendary Duelist stuff, I know we're getting Legendary Duelist Season 3 with the Dusted Gold and Malicious Bane, but even like just taking one of those and putting it in here, man, there's so many different things they could have done to make this set good, and in the end, they just chose they chose to screw us.
Yeah, and hopefully it'll be a lesson learned. But Grunt, go ahead.
If I could have one last statement, my best statement is that for those of you who invested over double MSRP, I am sorry that had to happen. For those of you who invested for a good deal, then some of those cards might be worth holding on to. And to those of us who did not invest in this set, at least with all the people who are going to be trying to throw stuff out there, some of the singles out there, especially some of the newer stuff that's being like a premiere set, some of that stuff, in my opinion, should be relatively affordable at launch and even later on. So if you're interested in Starry Night, if you're interested in Sun Avalon, at least that stuff should, for the most part, be cheap.
And I like that, because I am definitely looking forward to the Starry Night. That is going to be my new deck that I play. So that's great advice, Grunt. Casey, any last thoughts that you have?
Since everyone else got one.
Absolutely.
It's way off topic, so I don't know that I should. So
you're okay.
I'll just say I hope you're all doing well. Stay safe. We're making it through these tough times, and we'll see you guys next time.